Hello everyone, this is Zukumani here. Today we're going to talk about Oondasta, one of the new world bosses currently on the PTR servers, patch 5.2. It's a giant T-Rex that shoots laser beams and has armored plating. Absolutely love the design of it. I think it's the best looking world boss that I've seen in quite some time, and it completely reminds me of Dino Riders. So what's not to love about it, honestly? Now, currently on the PTR servers, just messing around on there, sort of seeing the changes to mages as well as a few other things. But I decided to have a look at the world boss here, and I'm going to go through its abilities and show you footage of it all and talk about positioning. So hopefully everyone gets a greater understanding, of what to sort of expect when this goes live. Now, this is PTR. More than likely, some of this will change, but as it sits right now, this looks pretty set. Okay, so let's talk about positioning. So this is where we will be fighting the boss. Now, if you move him out of the tar pit area, he will despawn, so please be aware of that. Now, the dots that are coming up now is my interpretation of where everyone needs to be standing for this fight. The red dot is the boss. The red dot will be facing the brown dot where the tanks will be positioned. All melee DPS will be positioned directly behind the boss, sort of at like a 60-degree angle. From the back of the boss, making sure that we're not standing at a 90-degree angle so we don't get hit by his Frill Blast ability, which I'll discuss later. Now, for range and healers, there is enough room down the back to be spread out at least 8 yards for about 40 people to be spread out at least 8 yards. So just please be aware of your positioning. Have your raid meter up showing you how close you are to other people, and you shouldn't have an issue whatsoever. If all goes well and the tank swaps happen perfectly, nobody should have to move at all for this fight. The first ability we'll talk about is Piercing Roar. Now, he will unleash a Piercing Roar, inflicting 200,000 physical damage to all players and interrupting spell casting for 10 seconds. Now, this is avoidable. It happens about every minute within the fight, so please be aware of it and make sure that you're not casting. The second ability he has is called Frill Blast. Now, this inflicts 800,000 fire damage to all players in a 60-yard hemisphere in front of the boss. Now, if you don't know what a hemisphere is, it's basically like a giant semicircle that is facing in front of the boss. So both melee, both the tanks that aren't tanking at the time, range DPS, and healers need to be aware that you cannot stand exactly 90 degrees to the boss, because if you're standing anywhere near that affected area, you will get hit by it and you will die straight away. As far as the tank that's going to be absorbing the blast, they have plenty of abilities that can help mitigate the damage that's done. I mean, things like Devo Aura, Ironbark, Raid cooldowns, they can all be used to help mitigate the damage in some way. Certain tanks have better abilities when it comes to magical absorption than others. All of those would be great, and you just need to be aware of what you're going to be using and make sure that the raid knows what you're going to be using so that we can all adjust with it. The third ability is called Spirit Fire Beam, which shoots a Spirit Fire energy at a player, inflicting 150,000 fire damage and jumping to a nearby ally. Up to 20 people can be affected by this, and the damage is increased by 50% with each jump. As you can see on the screen right now, the damage is quite overwhelming if there's too many people stacked up. This completely reminds me of Cthulhu back in the day. If you're unaware of Cthulhu and what he did, have a look. Such good memories there. Okay, so the two last abilities that this boss does. The first one is the tank swap ability. It is called Crush. He crushes his current target, inflicting 500,000 physical damage and reducing armor by 25% for 1 minute. This effectively means that the tanks need to do a tank swap at this time. I'm not sure how the timers sort of go with Crush and Frill Blast, whether they happen at the same time, whether they're offset by 30 seconds or whatever, but tanks need to be aware that once you get that debuff, you need to swap off ASAP, unless you're like super geared. We're talking like full heroic gear and you can handle it. It's probably safer just to taunt off. So the last ability he does is basically a pseudo Enrage. It's called Growing Fury. He increases his damage all damage that he does by 10%, and it stacks. Now, I think it comes out or happens every 45 seconds or a minute, something along those lines. So, if you don't kill the boss within the first 7 minutes of the fight, the damage that he'll do with both Frill Blast, with Crush, and especially with the beam, if it bounces, it's going to one-shot a lot of people, if not the entire raid. So, you need to ensure that you have enough DPS to sort of kill this guy before he gets too powerful. And that is Oondasta, the new world boss, currently on the PTR servers. I'm going to be on the PTR probably for its entire duration, checking out raid content when it's available, as well as the new dailies and the new quest hubs and all that, so I'll be sure to get some more footage up ASAP. I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. Please, I'd love to get some feedback on this. Like it, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to read them all. My name's Zukumani. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.